Please keep your ears available for the rapping styles of
We got the deal.
Woo, I'm so high.
Be black and dark and still beautiful.
Bleach my skin.
My family need to come up, cause we famous, so we
Donald
hunger.
Trump refers to as shithole country.
Colors and books of obituary. You should be worried.
Another life claimed by the police? No.
My cousin's gay and my uncle's a pedophile, but guess which one brings the family more shit?
It gotta stop, cause I damn near scream in public.
You ever sink your head under that bathtub water, hold your breath in.
And you can keep your pennies, cause my thoughts are priceless.
When I say CC, you say P. CC. CC. When I say drop the, you say Mike. Drop the. Mike. Drop the. Mike. When I say I love, you say poetry. I love. Poetry. I love. Poetry. Give it up for Drop the Mic. Let's get it started. What's up, CCP? How y'all feeling today?
I am so happy to hear that. Welcome to the 5th anniversary season of Drop the Mic. Can we have some love for being in our 5th season of Drop the Mic? We're also 3-time Emmy nominated, so please make some noise for us being 3-time Emmy nominated. We're really proud of that. And that is just a testament to how powerful and moving the work that is shared by our student poets. My name is Dr. Michelle Myers. I'm a professor here in the English department at Community College of Philadelphia. And today we will be taping for our first round of the second audition show for season 5 of Drop the Mic. Please give it up for all of our student poets who are on stage, who will be performing today. And the folks who are going to be identifying our 5 top poets from today's first round and second round performances for our second audition show is our wonderful panel of judges over here. Please give it up for our judges. So introducing our judges from the first chair to the audience, this is Kevin Covington. Please make some noise for Kevin. Kevin is a support coach in the Center for Male Engagement here at Community College of Philadelphia. And sitting next to Kevin, we have Danny Simmons. Please give it up for Danny Simmons. Danny Simmons is an amazing visual artist, an abstract painter, and he's also one of the original producers of Deaf Poetry Jam. So please give it up. We're so happy and honored to have Danny Simmons with us today. And next to Danny, we have Alicia Dantzler. Please make some noise for Alicia. Alicia is a graduate of Community College of Philadelphia. Please make some, yes, definitely. She deserves that. And she is also a spoken word poet here in the local Philadelphia poetry scene. And next to Alicia, we have DeForio Barlow. Please put your hands together for DeForio. DeForio is a testing specialist in the assessment center here at Community College of Philadelphia. So are you all ready to hear some poetry? Everybody say yeah? Yeah! So the poet on deck is Meek Boss. And coming to the mic, we have Poetic Rev. Please make some noise for Poetic Rev.
The world, it's so messed up that it needs to be right about. So as long as this world is messed up, I'll always have something to write about.
If I decide to write a letter to Pop, would you scream from top of your lungs trying to persuade me to stop? Like if I go down that path, I end up like Huey dead. What you think I don't know what Huey said that led to Huey's dead? I got Pac's heart, top of the neck is Huey's head. It kills me when we react to things they ain't new to us. We know what they want to do to us. They tell us to put the guns down so they can start shooting us. We just recording on our phones like we haven't been through enough. But I'm really tired of these officers. Go to the mayor, like, listen, get your officers, get them an officer, because once you let them loose, they will try the officer. And Pac, I ain't forget the question that you asked. That same question asked the future president passed. Maybe the answer is confiscated and placed in the Vatican stash. I don't know. But the time when you was on this earth, have you ever heard the earth cries? Voices in your head asking, what would you do if the earth dies? Should I write R.I.P. Earth on the shirt? Would me drop another track asking what it's worth? Said it's sweet pain and start to hurt. Because people are making millions, and Flint don't got no water yet. They donate millions to charity, but can't get Flint their water back. Their water's so poisonous they can walk around with water straps. Thank you.
All I think I did today, not that good. I know me, and when I feel nervous, it will come out like that. Words start to slur. I start to pick up pace, even though that's not the plan.
Kevin, you have some feedback?
I would just say, I was hoping for, I wanted just a little longer, but I mean, the piece is what it is. And if it's going to be that short, I would just say kind of like pace yourself. Because it seems like felt like you were rushed, but you had enough time to do it. So really, really good piece, but just watch the pacing.
And Danny?
Yeah, sorry. I like the poem. I think it ended kind of abruptly and didn't lead us out into anything. It's just like, boom. And so that kind of startled me. You said a lot of really good things, though, and I also think you should enunciate a little more because the words sort of blended together. And, I could pick up a lot, but sometimes I would hear a word and it would be like two words together. So, but otherwise, you was kind of dope, man.
Alicia?
I agree. I felt like I love the content and I love your voice, but I definitely wish it was times where I could hear you better, where you enunciate, where you pulled some of that content out and let it stand alone. That way it had more impact and we actually caught the lines. And it kind of felt like it kind of ran into each other a little bit. The lines ran into each other a little bit.
Thank you. And DeForio?
Yeah, just what everybody said. Just enunciate a little bit more. This fun.
Thank you, judges. Please give it up one more time for Poetic Rev.
This is Drop the Mic for CCP Season 5, and I'm gonna stay with the crown.
Poet on deck is EC, and coming to the mic, we have Meek Boss. Please make some noise for Meek Boss.
It's Season 5 of Drop the Mic, and we're going for the Emmy this time.
This piece is called Mania, and it's to raise awareness in the mental illness community, the issues that they deal with on a daily basis. Every day, even if for a brief second, sober or not, I contemplate suicide. These gruesome visions haunt me, even in my dreams. From their wrath, I cannot hide. When daddy hates his once baby girl, and mama follows suit, they seem as if they want me dead, as if their labor was rotten fruit. I've heard, we have to love you. You're our child. But we all know the truth. The world may smite me with its bitter love, kill me internally. After all, I'm just a brute. Lay me down atop a fire and watch me burn. Slit my wrist, let me bleed as you need and die. Isn't this what you yearn? Hang me from an equally burdened tree. Deliver me blow after blow until I billow and fall faintly to my knees. Then place me in a locked-still box and throw away the keys. Cut me continuously, retracing every groove. Blind me with your acts of kindness, and then bind me until I can no longer move. Cut me deep as the words you seek, whenever you see this empty vessel of a being, this piece of shit I call me. Suffocate me until I turn purple with the childhood bruise. It really doesn't matter how, just help me in my blues. Bury me at the very spot I could never call home. Bury me in an abandoned lot where I'd feel least alone. Feed me to an open sea. Let its currents carry me away. Just cast me out of this treacherous place. After all, I'm just a stray. And happy days have never been my friend. But it was the one time I gave myself love, hoping the pain would end. But through all this shit, I must admit, I wish I didn't think to die. But to say I'm okay and full of joy would simply be a lie. A laugh, a call, a hug, maybe even love could help me in the soulful cry. Get help or be helped. Thank you.
I think I did pretty good. I laid it all out there. I'm sure people go through the same things I go through, so I like to get it out there, stuff that people are scared to say or just don't know that someone else is experiencing with them.
And you have some feedback for Meek Boss?
Really powerful poem. It moved me. I mean, it was personal, it was strong. I haven't heard a poem like that in quite a while. It's sincere and honest and deep. Congratulations.
Thank you. And Alicia.
I really enjoyed the poem. I like that you had these simple rhymes, but I feel like it helped tell your story better. And your word choice sometimes, instead of using just a typical word, you would use these deliberate words throughout the piece, and it just like displayed so much pain as you went through. So I really enjoyed it.
DeForio.
I told you last week that I was looking forward to hearing you today, and I really did. I thought it was very honest, very passionate, very open.
And Kevin.
Meek boss. We saw more boss than Meek. You know what I mean? Yo, it was deep, it was heavy, but it was really, really thoughtful. And the flow, I like when you engaged everybody, like you looked around, it brought us all in, and the ending was strong too. So it was like but yeah. It's, let the church say amen. Great piece, great piece.
Thank you, judges. Please put your hands together one more time for Meek Boss.
If I made it to the second round, the one thing I would change is maybe being a little more comfortable on stage and taking my time.
This don't look like me. Don't fit the description, makes me uncomfortable like a truth I wasn't ready for.
Hey, you ever look around and feel like everyone hated you, like you weren't the same?
Dark-skinned girls be Sharpies. Our skin be both the darkest marker in the box and permanent. You cannot erase us.
Poet on deck is Marquise Wright Lee. And coming to the mic, we have EC. Please make some noise for EC.
It's season 5 of Drop the Mic.
This is one of my favorite poems. I feel like in life we all need a pick-me-up. You're holding onto your britches. You're ready for what's in store. You're a little bit scared because you're not quite sure. At first, it's easy to stay motivated, escalated, then you start to feel a little bit frustrated. And down a twisted path you go, you're in a sunken place, hidden behind your own shadow. In the dark, you search for the light. You know you gotta get up because you know you gotta fight. You know you gotta fight so that you will be all right. So you begin to run. But you start to feel your bones break, one by one. And now you're stuck. Left there thinking, oh, what the fuck? It's hard to continue when you got no fight left in you. Your mind is on E, your eyes cannot see. You're bound to the ground on the lock with no key. But listen, there's nothing you can do without the strength of God. If you're kind of good, he will never be fraud. Hold on to his word, it's your fighting rod. You never have to worry because he's in your squad. The world is the Lord's and everything in it. The world and all who dwells in it. Amen.
I would say
one more time for EC.
Okay, not where I wanted it to be, but this is the first time, so there's always the next one.
Alicia, do you have some feedback?
I think you kind of started off and you had to get comfortable, and as you got more comfortable into the piece, I kind of wanted to hear more. And then just make sure when you end your piece, land that line, because we want to end it with you. I was rocking, and I'm like, if it kind of faded off, we want you to punch it. You know what I'm saying?
DeForio.
I was looking for more energy, but I did like the tone of your voice. So I think that helped me out a little bit more, but we needed a little more energy.
Kevin.
Yeah, I really like the piece too. It's always a good piece when you want more. You started off really, really strong as well, and then got comfortable, as Alicia was saying. You feel really comfortable, so it's not an issue of nerves or anything. So I'm really looking forward to the next piece too. So nice.
And Danny.
I like the poem. The only thing that threw me off a little bit is the use of rhyme a couple of different times in it, because it seems like it just jumped in there. You were like going on in one flow, then a rhyme would appear, then you go on another flow and a rhyme would appear. So it jumped around a little bit, but otherwise the message was strong and the delivery was strong.
Thank you, judges. One more time for EC.
I expected you to do a lot better than I did. One thing I would change is definitely bring more energy into that.
Poet on deck is Tiana, and coming to the mic now, we have Marquise Wright Lee. Please make some noise for Marquise.
I hate competition, so, I'm here. Have fun with it. Black isn't just a color, it's who you are, and you confuse me. There's something about you that's not right here. Take this cookie cutter and carve yourself into something more recognizable. I need you to be more black for me. The right kind, not that alternative shit all entwined with things the hood has never called tradition, conversing with assimilation, trying on new cultures like coats and falling in love with the texture. That's not us. Go find the stereotypes, go hand in hand with your melanin and tell them to come out to play. We don't want this. This don't look like me. Don't fit the description, makes me uncomfortable like a truth I wasn't ready for. Give me the black I am ready for. Ain't nobody ever told you that different is dangerous. Makes you easily recognizable like you don't want to fit in. Or I don't want to stand out. Who said you could play a part outside your role? What? You garnish, nigga? Don't want to be sandwiched between ever-closing walls? Who said you had an option? Who said you leave the rest of us here on stage tied to these damn strings? You too good for this? No tolerance for the song? And dance and repeat song? And dance and repeat? A broken record is not your style. It's standard, too stale for you. Who told you you could be free? And can they tell me to... You're making me uncomfortable hiding your black in plain sight like that. You were born with the black card for a reason. Use it. That should be your only form of identification. I mean, why would you want to displace the ghetto from your smile in the first place? Ain't your ribcage still a housing project for your tenant of a heart? Don't your blood aspire to be hood rich? Or are you trying to be white, be other? Newsflash, they won't see you as brother, just another nigga trying to crawl out the crab barrel. What? You trying to be the only nigga to make it out of this horror film, a song, and dance, repeat? Who told you you could be so defiant? Denying the typecasting like the typewriter was broke in the first place, disobeying the director, having out-of-character experiences, acting like that fourth wall wasn't built to box you in. Who told you that you can be this way? Didn't you read the script? Thank you.
Honestly, every time I come here, I just expect to have fun. I'm not necessarily a fan of competition, but I do love the people it brings out.
DeForio.
So it's time for the competition. Please believe it. I thought it was great. You had me from beginning to end. I think it's very important for people to understand that you have to deliver, and you definitely delivered.
Kevin.
Damn. Yo, I mean, this is Drop the Mic, but you took the stage. So, as you were talking, and as we're listening, as we're processing, I'm also hearing these words over a Colin Kaepernick commercial. And you're seeing different images of black men and different images, and it's just like, it's a powerful piece. And I don't know if it's your favorite, but it's becoming our favorite. It's a really good piece.
Danny.
Thanks, man. You got a really professional delivery. I mean, I would think that I was watching somebody much older, much more seasoned, who's been around on the circuit for a long time, doing poetry in front of big audience. You put that together pretty nicely, man. Movement, everything.
And Alicia.
I have so much to say, but I'm going to sum it up in a few words. I got this. I feel like the message, like I was just stuck listening to your poem. Looking at the time, it's like 1 minute and 30 seconds, and it felt like I just had so much just in that amount of time. And I'm like, wait, we ain't hit 3 minutes yet? Like I was just so entranced in everything you were saying, just your delivery, and then you were just hitting every line back to back to back. Like you came to play. I see you. See you.
Thank you, judges. Make some noise one more time for Marquise.
It's season 5 of Drop the Mic, and the air conditioner is on frigid.
So after our next poet, we actually have our feature performance today, and our feature poet is Kathy Villefon. Please give it up for Kathy Villefon. I'm so excited. She is my poetry partner from Yellow Rage, but I'll have more to say about that when I introduce her. But closing out the first half of the first round of the second audition show of the 5th anniversary season of Drop the Mic, 3-time Emmy nominated, is Tiana. Please make some noise for Tiana.
It's season 5 of Drop the Mic, and I'm completely humbled to be here.
And what stature will I be in when I stand before God? But of course, I will be upright, and in my hand will be a list, a myriad of lists, which will enlist accomplishments that can't be numbered, many triumphs, many cumbersome successes that in no way will mirror the triumphant speech I have prepared on what success is. I imagine him smiling now as my list lengthens across the throne room, lingering besides Gabriel's foot and Michael's double-edged sword, and of course, intimidating the ninefold celestial hierarchy. As it is grouped and numbered in perfect array, dated and formatted in MLA, my mouth begins the arduous but needed talking away of the many times I have loved thy neighbor and did unto others what I would want others to do unto me, but I don't stop there. See, detail is key with the Messiah, so I explained to him the time I split my dollar into 4 exact quarters and handed 3 to the homeless man sitting on Arch Street, and the time I offered up my only apple as an offering, which I have noted does count according to Genesis 4:3, and the many times I have prayed the desires of my heart, for there were many. An easy check off the relationship you wanted to have with me. See, I speak and you listen. Man, we were the bestest of friends. I imagine him smiling now. A master coming back to see the many talents I have multiplied, a stored prepared for eternal life. My hands are trembling now as I near the end of the list and address the completed success of the memorization of Psalm 23. The Lord is surely my shepherd. My thoughts recite to me from route memorization. In case a performance is needed, I have waited my whole life to show up the ministering angels with the ministry I have breathed and bred. And now, Lord, I stand before thee ready to be judged. I mean, I have aced my SATs, passed the NCLEX, MCAT, and GREES. This test, Lord, you have presented meant the most to me, and now I am ready for my fate. I am ready for you to judge me. And this time I look up, and I can no longer see the throne room and the finely curated chorus of angels singing praises to the Lord Almighty. It is only me, and all around me is the street I have lived on and the people I have known my whole life walking to and fro aimlessly. And I smile and think, could this be? But then the sky darkens and the people are no more, and placed across from me is a single burning bush. My heart drops to my feet as the bush starts to speak in thunderous variations, yelling, vanity, vanity, and I drop to my knees, holding on to sanity, reaching for my list to recite one more time, but it is nowhere to be found, and all I am left with is the hard ground and the seeds that I have planted, which nothing came to be, my good works, vanity, and all at once I can feel judgment ruling down on me with her heavy rod, ready to strike, then all at once, glorious light in a voice as sweet as honey penetrates, saying, love, love, love is all you need. Your good works are like dirty rags to me. I have formed you and fashioned you in the womb before the foundation of the world came to be. Love, love, love is all you need. A broken spirit and a contrite heart is the sacrifice that pleases me. Love, love, love is all you need.
I think I did pretty well. I was really nervous, but I think I did well. I had fun doing it.
Kevin, you have some feedback?
Great piece. And oftentimes we see someone with a piece of paper or their phone and it distracts them, but it was like a teleprompter for you. It was like it's there, but I know what I'm going to say. It's a really passionate piece, really emotional, but still strong. I just wish you had gotten it in that window. You went slightly over, but it is a great piece. Nice performance.
Danny.
First of all, if this was your first performance, I don't know ever, but it was amazing. It was amazing. I am so sorry that they have this thing down here that says if you use a prompt, that's like, because I couldn't even tell. If I hadn't seen it, it didn't look like it was leading you. And I'm not one of the people that you shouldn't read or not read, but that this is a different thing. I think you're great. I think if you want to do spoken word on a larger and wider scale, you have the skills and the talent to do it.
Alicia.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things is the fact that you had a phone in your hand, but you performed a poem. So it did not take away from your performance, and that's one of the great things about being able to that's a performance. Like you had the material, you had the message, you had so much to say. You delivered each line with intent, and I think that made your performance so great. You just have to be a little more mindful of the time because you were over by like 20 seconds.
And DeForio.
I think the performance was great. I think the message was even greater. I think a lot of people are afraid to talk about their faith, talk about their beliefs, talk about their religion. And I think that was brave and very, very, very needed.
Thank you, judges. Please, one more time for Tiana.
One thing I would change in my second performance is timing. I went over a little bit, so timing is what I would change.
And can you give it up one more time for all the poets who performed in the first half of the first round of the second audition show?
It's season 5 of Drop the Mic.
And this is season 5 of Drop the Mic.
It's season 5 of Drop the Mic.
Season 5, Drop the Mic.
And I'm gonna stay with the crown.
And I'm completely humbled to be here.
And the air conditioner is on frigid.
Congratulations, we made it this far.
And we going for the Emmy this time.
Yeah. Word.
Right now, I'm really excited to be able to introduce my poetry partner, Katsi Vilefan.
I am a child of refugees. I am a refugee. I was born in a refugee camp. And so a lot of the work that I do in my poetry is based on talking about those stories and also trying to make sure that people, if they are out there in the audiences, can identify themselves in my work. So anyway, so this is my poem that I like to do. It is inspired by my identity as a Lao American, and it was inspired by another poet named Bao Phi, who has a poem called You Bring Out the Vietnamese in Me. And that in turn was inspired by a Mexican poet, Sandra Cisneros, who wrote a poem called You Bring Out the Mexican in Me. And so my version is called You Bring Out the Laos in the House. You bring out the Laos in the house, not the Southeast Asian, not the French Indochina, not the Laos or the Laos, but the Laos in the house. You bring out my best features, keep my hair dark and my skin tan. You bring out my taste for lemongrass and ginger, my affinity for elephants like the one tattooed on the back of my neck. You bring out my quest to find vintage stamps and iron-on patches of the Laotian flag so that I could almost literally wear my heart on my sleeve. You bring out a dislike for my long fingers that turn into a discovery that means when I fawn, they say, it's better than yours. I could teach you, but I have to charge. You bring out a part of me that says, I don't like rice, but how can I be Asian and not like rice? Well, it's not that I don't like rice, I just don't like your rice. You see, what we have, kauneo, sticky rice, the sweet kind that we ball into our hands while sitting on floors enjoying each other's company, our food meant for sharing. That's why they call it family style. You bring out the spiciness in me, only to find out that my version of heat is quite different from yours. But I love testing limits, especially when you watch me finish what you couldn't finish. Or like that one time when you let me cook dinner for your family and we were suddenly surprised by your sister's screams of, how come the mashed potatoes are burning my mouth? You bring out the interpreter in me, well, when or if there's someone to interpret for. In finding a reason just to say anything, I sometimes eavesdrop on the next best thing. Thai people. Just to claim I can understand what you're saying, I just can't talk back. And that in turn brings out the bilinguist in me, the part that asks you to teach me Spanish, not because I prefer it to my own language, but because it gives me a sense of belonging to someone who is around. And I know that I'm special because I hear your little brother tell your mother, Cassie's not China, stop calling her China, she's from Laos. And I wish I could teach you how to speak like me, but Lao is a tonal language. And so it always ends up going something like this. Okay, so the difference between the word salty and needle is Kim and Kim. Kim and Kim. Okay, moving on to phrases. This is how you ask somebody where you're going. Bai sai. Try it with me. Bai sai. Say it again. Okay, the first word, bai, is more like a cross between a B and a P. More B. More P. And that's why we're sticking to Spanish. And in feeling bad, you send me images of Laos and links to YouTube of dudes rapping in my language that made me laugh, so I guess we're even. You bring out the stink test, the one where I make you smell the essence of namba and bedek, otherwise known as fish sauce and dirty fish sauce. If you don't know about dirty fish sauce, let me describe it to you. Pungent, fermented fish chunks, marinating in their own salty, muddy, brown juices. The way it smells is a completely different poem. Dirty. So dirty that you can only find them in unmarked jars hidden underneath kitchen sinks. Yes, that's how bad it stinks. I haven't gotten to the crab paste or the dried shrimp yet, but there's an age-old saying that if it smells bad, it tastes good. But what I'm saying, if you can stand salty, fermented seafood products, then you are a good friend. You bring out the weird food references that make me feel comfortable enough to talk about, like an egg soup, fried grasshopper, beef and blood sauce, and my favorite, fertilized chicken eggs. In Laos, we call it kailuk. In the Philippines, they call it balut. But on TV, everyone calls it that episode on Fear Factor. You bring out the comparisons that bring out the differences, because if someone has never heard, there will always be an interest. You bring out the foreign factor, or should I say exotic, because until now you've never known about Laos, which unfortunately brings out the ignorance in you, as well as a series of guesses that strangely always follows this order. Wait, let me guess what you are, because I'm really good at guessing people by their ethnicity just by looking at them. You're Filipino. No, okay, hold on. Hawaii. You're Hawaii. Okay, last chance. You're Thai. No? Then what the fuck are you then? And my answer to you is why my identity has to be concluded in 3 guesses. First of all, it's Hawaiian, not Hawaii. And second of all, I am from Laos, land of a million elephants. If you can't find that on the map, then you probably can't say my last name, nor can you make assumptions of my people. And no, I don't want to hear a story about some random Asian person, place, or thing that might be where I'm from. And by the way, take off your shoes when you step into my house. You bring out my authority asking you, there's a line about my name, don't mispronounce it. It's not Kathy, Cassie, or Cassidy, it's Katsy. And so what? If it was a mispronounced byproduct of my mother's native tongue, dancing with an American dream, she gave up half her life, traveled halfway around the world for this. So yeah, I do mind standing here for half a minute just because you can't get it half right. You see, by forgetting or just not thinking about me, you remind me to remind you, something like that. You force me to remind you, but by referencing or just questioning me, you force me to remember myself. This poem is just as much about you as it is about me. Thank you.
Give it up for Katsy one more time. I think there's an important lesson in that, and that is, even if you mess up, you just keep going. It's not the end of the world, you just keep going, right? So give it up for Katsy Vilay-Fan. So happy to have her here, my poetry partner.
Time is ticking, money with every digit, so I can waste, knowing that stunting is what I'm living for. Boy, I'm headed straight to the top, cause the scoreboard gotta show I'm bringing in shots.
Hey, you ever look around and feel like everyone hated you, like you weren't the same? You ever sink your head under that bathtub water, hold your breath and like that pain? Well, I did.
Dark-skinned girls be Sharpies. Our skin be both the darkest marker in the box and permanent. You cannot erase us. We be black and dark and still beautiful. I've seen eyes orbit them.
Now we're about to start the second half of the first round of the second audition show. Poet on deck is John. Coming to the mic now, we have Lindo. Yes. Please give it up for Lindo. Yes.
I feel confident about my performance. There's things that I'm always critical about myself. I've been performing for a minute. So this is definitely not my first time, but it's always like, I always get anxious no matter how many times I hit the stage.
I was at the house party, music so loud, hands waving in the air, all I heard them say is, where the real kings at, where the real kings at? I was at the house party, music so loud, hands waving in the air, all I heard them say is, where the real queens at, where the real queens at? I was at the house party, music so loud, hands waving in the air, all I heard them say is, where the real kings at, where the real queens at, where the real kings, queens, All we heard was the sirens. All I heard was my irregular heartbeat. And every time I hear my irregular heartbeat, I think to myself, when the last time I hugged a grown man like a newborn child? Probably the same time he got new bracelets. You know, handcuffs that fit tight around his wrist, as tight around his wrist as that robbery he performed yesterday. Probably as tight around his wrist as that unprotected sex he had that night to celebrate. But tell me, when do we ever feel safe? Cause there's no vote for our emotions, so we be feeling like no one be feeling like us. So we always feel alone, but never alone. And all we wanna do is feel like the hero. You know, save ourselves and a few others, but that's the irony right there. Cause most people are birthed for Superman, you know, alien to this world, flying high, cause he's above it all, to avoid a space, looking down at the world, listening to all the world problems, thinking all the world problems is his, and his problems is the world. Well, that's a real view of most men. that rather hide their smiles in a frown, and the same places where they greet haters with middle fingers, and the same places where they have their arms as open as 7-Elevens to embrace who you are, and the same places where they give their hearts out like organ donors just to show how much they love you. And I know he's thinking about this in the back of a cop car, thinking about how yesterday he was gonna cop a car just to show people how driven he is, how he's looking at every one of these street corners feeling like it's the end of the road. Why all these street corners look like the end of the road? We became boys to men from the end of the road. All these street corners look like the end of the road. Cop turned back to say, shut up, nigga. This is the end of the road. And all I can hear is my irregular heartbeat. And every time I hear my irregular heartbeat, I think to myself, when the last time I heard a grown man like a newborn child? 10 seconds before he got in that cop car, I told him, hey, homie, man. Man, look, man, I love you, man. I really love you. Thank you.
Lindo, yes!
This is Lindo, yes, you already know, and this is season 5 of Drop the Mic. Where
Danny, do you have some feedback for Lindo?
Yeah, I think your poem was great, man. Your movements were good. A little bit of transition from the front when you were jumping into when you settled in, that sort of threw me a little bit, but that's part of your performance. I think you did a good job, bro.
Alicia.
I feel like I enjoyed your energy that you brought to the poem, that you brought to the stage. I think it kind of like wakes the audience up a little bit and kind of grab your attention into the message that you're about to deliver, because it's something that everybody need to hear. Like it's okay to to be vulnerable in those moments and to talk about it. And the way that you talk about it in a message, I really enjoyed the delivery of it.
DeForio.
I like the way you took control of the stage. Even on the mic and off the mic, people were still with you, still listening to you, still focused. And then I thought when you came back to the mic is when you really wanted to get your point across and hit home some really important things that you wanted to get across.
And Kevin.
Yeah, like Alicia was saying, I love the energy you brought to it, and then you settled into that other role, that act 2, I thought was really good. I think the poem took us to a lot of different places, and then I love the way you circled back to the hug. I thought that was really good. Nice.
Thank you, judges. One more time for Lindo, yes!
I think next round, I'm uncertain about what I'm gonna perform, but it's really between just like talking about my love of sci-fi and being infatuated.
Poet on deck is Khadija. And coming to the mic now, we have John. Please make some noise for John.
Well, maybe get into poetry. It was something I never really did. I was more into sports and stuff, so it was just ability, a pathway for me to like tap into a different side.
All right, this little piece I wrote is with my battle with depression, anxiety, in which I was really close to losing, but I usually keep it down like inside me, but I thought it would be good to put it in a piece. I'm death walking, anxiety filled, sweaty talking, heart racing, feel like my neck is being tied into a noose. But the scariest part is it's all in my head because I'm just sitting in a room. And I'll do anything to take that feeling away, even if it was my life. My family figure out, sit me down and say, nah, John, you can't do that. That isn't right. But have you ever had anxiety attacks every damn day? You ever look around and feel like everyone hated you, like you weren't the same? You ever sink your head under that bathtub water, hold your breath in, like that pain? Well, I did, because I'm just a hopeless soul all locked and chained. Until one day, when I said, not today. I'm gonna fight this anxiety, depression. I'm gonna fight this pain. I'm gonna beat that devil, stand up and scream in his face, grab him by his neck, holding back tears and tell him to give me back all my years. And all the while, he's laughing for taking all my happiness and all my smiles. But it's good, because in the end, I place him down and I thank him. Because it's not the ones that were fed with silver spoons and hours of love that changed the world. It's the ones that were hopeless souls that were chained away, but evolved and acquired new traits to break and fly away. Those are the ones that will change the world and seize the day.
I think I did pretty well for my first performance. It was all right.
Alicia, you have some feedback.
So I really like in the beginning how you actually paused and took the time to take that breath and reset yourself. And I saw that you did that a few times in the poem. I see with this being a poem about anxiety, I feel like you could definitely use that to your advantage as well. Because sometimes we really do just need to stop and breathe and then just come back and deliver those lines. So try to find a way to use that in your advantage. I think it was a really good poem, and we need to continue hearing poems like this.
DeForio.
Mental health issues are real, and people need to really understand how to cope and deal, and I think you've found a way to deal with it.
Kevin.
Yeah, and I think, and listening to the poem, I thought it was a really, really good piece, and I love the way you delivered it. And sometimes our purpose is to show other people that we can overcome. And I think that's kind of where you are. Well, I can't say that's where you are, but that's in interpreting the poem, that's kind of how I got it. It's like, you know what, you're supposed to be here. Because there's somebody here, there's somebody out there, there's somebody on this campus that needs to hear it and see it. So a really nice piece.
And Danny.
I think you really connected with that poem. That poem was, you know, sometimes you see a poet and they're talking and they're reading a poem. Sometimes I felt like that poem really came from you and you delivered it in a very personal and strong way. So thank you.
Thank you, judges. Please give it up one more time for John.
If I would do one thing different in the second round, it would be a little bit less nervous.
Poet on deck is Black Cancer. And coming to the mic now, we have Khadija. Please make some noise for Khadija.
The season 5 of Drop the Mic. Ew.
The blackest berries are so sweet because they're always picked last. To be a dark-skinned girl is to never be competition. To be blackie instead of black girl, to be the woman whose kids will be as dark as nightmares. Too black to be a part of their dreams. Light-skinned girl is pretty. Light-skinned girl, be a goddess amongst the rest of us, even though blackie gave birth to her. Her skin be a highlight. And mine, just in the background, she is beautiful. And I can't stand the sight of her. Her pigment be less than. But everybody still treat her like her skin greater here. Complexion be the greatest inequality. I've walked into classes and felt people walking on me. My skin made me a welcome mat, allowing their words onto private property. People talk about my skin as if I don't have to live in it, as if my skin is an abandoned house, as if fair skin is the only skin that is habitable. I've always watched my aunts prancing at the bottom of skin lightening products. They think their skin heavy, and mine be the heaviest. African parents always tell us to be proud of our lineage, tell us to rise like our flag, to stand orange, white, and green, but never stood strong enough to raise us with pride. They passed down culture to us like there were precious stones, but never appreciated their family jewels. They want us to honor our culture, but continue to glorify skin that isn't theirs. I tell my aunts, this skin is mine. I ain't light skinned, a red bone, but I will never compromise my complexion for a lighter skin tone. I still be blackie. I be so black. Charcoal looks gray next to me. I lay down in the street and disappear. I've been the hide and seek champion for 5 years. I am my shadow. Dark-skinned girls be Sharpies. Our skin be both the darkest marker in the box and permanent. You cannot erase us. We be black and dark and still beautiful. I've seen eyes orbit them as if light were the only form of beauty. They be glowing stars. Light-skinned girls be bright like the sun, but we be dark like galaxies. Thank you.
I think I did pretty good. Yeah, I think I did pretty good.
DeForio, you have some feedback for Khadija.
So, Khadija, I thought you were going to come out and say something really sweet. I'm looking at you like, oh, she's about to really give us some serious little cute poem. Khadija, I'm going to take a knee and raise my fist to that one. How about that?
Kevin.
Damn. Yeah. And I really enjoyed not only the piece, you hit like this second gear, like you crossed over on us, did a little here there, and then slowed it back up, like just in case you didn't catch it. Let me slow it down for you again. This is a really well-delivered piece.
Danny.
A friend of mine, daughter was denied a job position. It's in the papers right now. It's trending. And they started a whole movement, and they told her, and a black man told her she was too dark for the position. So your poem right there hit me because I had just been talking to my man about what happened to his daughter, and so it's very timely, very topical, and I think it's a really powerful piece. Thank you.
And Alicia.
I really, like, the first thing I wrote is just your line, your intro line. It definitely, like, immediately grabbed the attention, grabbed my attention, your stage presence. And I have to disagree with the four of you. I did not think you was going to get up here and do something sweet. I saw you sitting over there. I'm like, she's sitting over there a little savage. And then you got up here and that's what you did. Like, I love the poem. I love your energy. I love the lines in the poem. And it just was an amazing performance.
Thank you, judges. Make some noise one more time for Khadija.
If I make it to the second round, one thing I would probably change is like the type of poem I did. Like I went out there, did a very high energy piece, and I'm gonna do the opposite. So, yeah.
Poet on deck is Aisha Leah. Coming to the mic now, we have Black Cancer. Please put your hands together for Black Cancer.
This is Black Cancer, man, and this is the 5th anniversary of Drop the Mic at CCP. Congratulations, we made it this far.
Yeah! What's up, y'all? Damn, what's up, y'all? This is Philly, right? We get attitudes real quick. We have, a little chip on our shoulders and shit. Y'all ready to be entertained? We gonna have some fun. I just want everybody to be untight. That make me feel comfortable, you dig?
I didn't expect anything. I expected to enjoy myself. And I just wanted the crowd to be live because I felt like everybody was uptight and making it so serious. Like, this is an anniversary. I'm not taking it as serious as everyone else. Not trying to come at people, but I didn't expect much. I expected it to be a celebration. There you go.
I may not be grinding on consistent basis, but bitch, I'ma make it caking, hating, then you ministrating. You niggas faker than a rolly ticking. No, my nigga. Know your limits before, bitch, you breaking and eliminated. Meet your creator trying to clash with C. Call me drug doc, I'll crack your teeth. Had you looking Draculating. Bloodsuckers have a leech. Them pussies get from back of me. Accustomed to niggas frontin' that's comfort with suckers cause that's they motherfucking casualty. Black to see spot hatred from a distance. I never cry about it. Mining in the matrix, it got glitches. They ain't stopping nothing, not my paper, not my bitches. They just excess fat, burn they weight up when I gym shit. My Planet Fitness. And for that yearly price, I'm hamming shit in stages, places, faces, the candy imprints, dismantle bitches. I rock wild, uncut coke my hustle and flow. I drop vials, niggas sniff. Time is ticking, money with every digit, so I can waste, knowing that stunting is what I'm living for. Boy, I'm headed straight to the top, cause the scoreboard gotta show I'm bringing in shots. I said, time is ticking, time is ticking. Money with every digit, so I can waste, knowing that stunting is what I'm living for. Boy, I'm headed straight to the top, cause the scoreboard gotta show I'm bringing in shots. Time is ticking. Mindless bitches, I got no time for the kicking, ain't trying to grind with the digits, well, I'ma holler to hit it. I could get your number, but trying to style when I hit it and ignoring texts and calls, I'm probably out of my vision. Forget it. Too Hollywood for me. Didn't I crack on you at the bus stop? How fly I gotta be? How fly you gotta be? Cause you claim you want a nigga with his head on his shoulder till I approach you. You decide not to speak? I'm lost. That's why I pay more attention to chicken and less with bitches, cause their interest is iffy. Don't waste my time. I'm on my paper grind, so if I make an effort to show my interest, you know it's genuine. You should try to give an incentive, a dinner or something. I ain't swindling fucking inside a discussion, so why you on that time if it's nothing? We could get it down if you smunting, just know I'm hustling, so it's business first and second is nothing. A check I'm wanting, that's the function. I ain't shifting gears. Cause if I wasn't for the gravy, baby, you try to play me and think I'm weird. Be on the phone with me like, yo, nigga, now listen here. You 30, worried about pussy, focus on your spit career. And see, that's a shot to the pride god when bitches check you and they don't bite their tongue, so you feel they disrespectful when pebbles is being thrown at your throne, but you just gave the ammo to load up a rock Glock and pop shots to your mental. Time is ticking. Time is ticking. Money with every digit, so I can't waste, knowing that stunting is what I'm living for. Boy, I'm headed straight to the top, cause the scoreboard gotta show I'm bringing in shots. Time is ticking. BLK, Black Cancer, thank y'all, drop the mic.
I think I did good because when it comes to the crowd, I go off of their energy, and off of their energy, I'm going to release or give good energy as well. And that makes me feel good.
Kevin, you have some feedback?
Welcome back to the stage, Black. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. As you were going through, I just kept thinking, this is Biggie-esque, you know, with the flow you had and just the images that you put through, man. I love the way you present your stuff and present your pieces. Really nice.
Danny.
I feel pretty much thank you. I feel pretty much the same way he does. I think you got a great performance, and it's pretty professional. I can see that on other stages and other places.
Alicia.
I always enjoy when you bring the hip hop to the stage, because as much as I'm a spoken word poet, I enjoy the hip hop feel and the flow. Sometimes it gets you hyped, it gets you amped, and I really like the usage of time is ticking. It just reminds you, it brings you back, it pulls you in back to like what your message is about more so. So I enjoyed that.
And DeForio.
I like the fact when you perform that you're always raw and uncensored. And I think that's what really spoken word poetry is about.
Thank you, judges. One more time for Black Cancer.
If I was to make it to the second round, I wouldn't change anything because I felt good about my performance, and I don't want to think too hard about it. I just wanted to come organically.
Closing out the first round of the second audition show of the 5th anniversary season of Drop the Mic is Aisha Leah. Please give it up for Aisha Leah.
When I was in 11th grade, my dean, he was like a father figure to me, and he was like, you need to write. You just need to write your heart out. And I would just write my heart out.
Damn. Holding my breath. Dear depression, I never felt a drug so strong as you until you walked into my life and never left. When I die, it will be a revolution. I was born with a voice, not to be voiceless to you, selfless to you. You silenced me. You kept me hostage. When I die, I will no longer hear the voices of the world. My eyes will not shed, and my blood won't be used as a writing tool. My body won't be seen as prey. When I die, I will be at peace, one with self. When I die, don't shed no tears. I fought against my battle with peace. I didn't die for you. I am his confession. You silenced me, kept me hostage. When I die, it will be my decision, not yours. You can't take it away from me when I die. Lay my ashes to rest, and still I rise.
I thought I was gonna do good until I got and I seen all the lights in my face. That's what made me more nervous. I didn't know how to react to it. When I was talking about depression and anxiety, that just came over me, basically.
Danny, do you have some feedback?
I think you did a good job. You were a little nervous, and it came through in the poem. So you a little more practice. I think the poem itself was great, but I think you just need to get more comfortable with the mic. That's all.
Alicia.
So you had a line in your poem where you mentioned your voice being heard. Make sure we actually hear you. You had so much to say, and it's a poem. We often talk about, like I said earlier, about mental health and mental health issues not being displayed enough. So this is a poem that somebody needed to hear, as well as your delivery of it. You know, you wrote it. You know what I'm saying? Just put some power behind your words, because it definitely was the content there.
DeForio.
In a different light, just own it. Like you're looking at me now, I think you should pay some attention to your audience as well and focus. But I thought it was good, but I want you to get a little more confident.
And Kevin.
Absolutely. I mean, just what they said before. I'm not a poet, nor do I play one on TV. But or here. Thank you, DeForio. I like that. But it was a lot to say. It was a very, very good piece, and it's sort of odd. The way you deliver a poem is a lot different than when you write it, and just get comfortable with that. You belong here. Just get comfortable with it, and just act like we're not here, but then connect with us anyway. But good piece, real good piece.
Thank you, judges. One more time for Aisha Leah.
If I make it to the second round, I would not be nervous. I would not allow my anxiety to get the best of me. I would try my hardest not to look at the lights and more so imagine if they're not there.
Can you give it up for all of our student poets who performed in the first round of the second audition show? So at this time, you all should have received a voting form with all of the poets' names on there. If you could please circle the name of your favorite poet, okay? And then someone will come around to collect all of your votes.
It's season 5 of Drop the Mic.
And this is season 5 of Drop the Mic.
It's season 5 of Drop the Mic. Season 5, Drop the Mic.
And I'm gonna stay with the crown.
And I'm completely humbled to be here.
And the air conditioner is on frigid.
Congratulations, we made it this far.
And we going for the Emmy this time.
Word.
Okay, so Katsy and I were a part of Def Poetry Jam. And we were
When we were young.
When we were young, we've been. You guys, some of you know this because you're my students, and you know this. You know this. When we actually first met Danny, and we were chosen to go to Aspen to perform, we only had one poem.
We had one poem to our name.
Yes, and so we wrote this poem that we're about to perform just so that we could go to Aspen because we only had one piece. So this poem is the one that actually made it to the first season of Def Poetry Jam. This is called Listen Asshole, and Katsy's gonna set us up.
Listen, asshole. My words were meant to be mentioned in a meticulous and ruthless manner, yet you're mispronouncing manhandling, not fucked it all up. My meanings misused, miscommunication, misconstrued, misinterpreted, mismade, motherfucker, that makes me mad.
Listen, asshole, stop trying to guess what I am. Stop trying to tell me what I'm not. I was born in Seoul, which makes me Korean. These slightly slanted eyes ain't just for seeing. Bitch, I see right through you. You expert on me with your
Fake Asian tattoo.
You expert on me with your
Taibo and Kung Fu.
So what, you tried dim sum and then some on the menu.
So what, you a fan of Lucy Liu? So what, you read the Joy Luck Club too?
That makes you an expert on how I should look? Fuck you! What the fuck do you know about being Asian? I'm about to put you in your place, son. What do you know about napalm and Saigon? About Hiroshima, Nagasaki? About Gandhi? What do you know about demilitarized zones and no gunnery?
About My Lai and the military?
What do you know about the killing fields and signs that wield?
No Chinese or dogs allowed.
What do you know about careful mitigation, girls? About colonization all over the Asian world?
What do you know about the Great Wall?
I can school you on each and all, motherfucker. I'm about to get raw.
What do you know about revolution?
About Ho Chi Minh and Mao Zedong. I know it was Gil Scott-Rodder said the revolution will not be televised, so my membership in the revolution will not be based on slanted on my eyes on the prize. Fight with all my might against motherfuckers who think I'm a white girl. Watch my figure unfurl.
You picked the wrong Asian woman to mess with.
Because my tongue is split, it is forked and steel tipped, and it will puncture and bleed you. And if you don't know, now you know, asshole.
Listen, don't ask me what I'm saying in my native tongue. You want to know so badly, go learn it yourself. 20 years it took me to perfect the language my mother's and her mother spoke. 20 seconds it took you, the nerd, to ask what my sister and I spoke about. If I said I wasn't talking to you, why don't you stop bothering me all up in my business? How dare you step to me, invade my privacy, waste my time, and ask if I'm able to relay you the content of my conversation? What nonsense is this?
Do I look like your private translator?
Nosy motherfucker. You probably thought dialogue centered around you, and you just wanted to make sure. Is that because you're paranoid and insecure, or just jealous because my tongue's got more skills than yours? Oh, so you want to learn how to say I love you and hello. Why you need to know? You think of me as some Asian hoe ready to turn around at your calls of,
hey baby, annyeonghaseyo, annyeonghaseyo.
Or,
ni hao ma, I love you, China doll.
Please, your bullshit doesn't impress me at all because my words were meant to be mentioned in a meticulous and mellifluous manner, yet you're mispronouncing manhandling mouth. Fucks it all up. My meanings misused for miscommunication, misconstrued to a misinterpreted, misspoken, mistake motherfucker that makes me mad. So you better have listened, asshole, and listen well. Don't talk to me anymore. Don't fuck with me anymore because I am done talking to you.
Oh my God. Does that bring back memories, Danny? So please give it up for all of our student poets one more time. This brings the first round of the second audition show of the 5th anniversary season of Drop the Mic to a close. Please give it up for yourselves. You guys were awesome, as well as our wonderful panel of judges. Thank you all so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed.